Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. First, I would like to say thank you to our subscribers for following us and supporting us. And for our new viewers, I would say please click on the button below and subscribe, and that way you're not gonna miss a recipe when we put it up. All right, today I have a special treat for you. Today I'm gonna show you how to make baklava. Baklava is one of my favorite desserts. I love it. Baklava is traditionally Greek recipe, but the way I make it, my Balkan baklava, is something completely different. As a matter of fact, I had a couple of my Greek friends told me that my baklava is way better than traditional baklava. So today I'm going to show you why. Traditional Greek baklava has honey and chopped walnuts for ingredients. The way I make it with sugar, vanilla sugar, lemon, and then we're gonna make syrup. So once you pour it over baklava, it makes it so juicy and so easy to cut, and oh my God, it's to die for. To start off, first what you have to do is make syrup for baklava. When you do baklava, if baklava is hot, once you pull it out of the oven and your syrup is hot, and you pour syrup over baklava, you're just gonna make it gooey, not good. So first thing what we're gonna do is make syrup and let that stand to cool off, and then we're gonna make baklava. And once the syrup is cooled off, we're just gonna pour it over baklava. All right, so here I have 2.5 cups of water, and I'm gonna pour it in a 2-quart pan. And here I have 1.5 pounds of sugar. We're gonna add it to the water. We're gonna mix it. You have to constantly mix it because when the water and sugar is boiling, it has tendency to come out of the pan. So mix it constantly. We're gonna bring it to a boil, and once we bring it to a boil, we're gonna add vanilla sugar. Vanilla sečer is something that I buy in European store. If you can't find it, you don't have European store near you, you feel free to substitute it with 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. Okay, now we're just going to continue mixing this. Like I said, mix it, make sure all the sugar is dissolved, and bring it to a boil, and then add vanilla sugar. Okay, now it's boiling. I'm gonna add vanilla sugar and let it boil for another 5 to 10 minutes. All right, once all the sugar and vanilla sugar are dissolved and the syrup has been boiling for about 10 minutes, we're gonna set it on the side and we're gonna add lemon. Okay, put this up. Okie dokie, oh my God, it smells so good. We're gonna add lemon, just add slow because this is very hard. You don't want it to go on you. Okay, oh my God, it smells so good. The lemon gives such a freshness and smell, oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna leave the syrup to cool off, and we're gonna make our baklava. For this recipe, I'm using 1.5 cups of vegetable oil, 850 grams of finely ground walnuts. This is what makes my baklava different and unique. When you use finely ground walnuts and you soak it with that syrup, oh my God, that baklava is gonna melt in your mouth. You're just gonna have nothing to chew. Just put it in your mouth and it's gonna melt immediately. So like I said, it's 1.75 cups of finely ground walnuts and 100 grams of sugar. So for the phyllo that I'm buying in European store, It's called Apollo Phyllo number 7. Number 7 means that's the thickness of the phyllo. The thinner the phyllo is, the better the baklava is. The only thing about this phyllo, it has to be moist. That means what I did here, see, I covered it with kind of damp paper towel, you know, so it can keep the moist, because if you don't work fast, the phyllo is gonna get dry and then you're not gonna be able to lay down the phyllo in the pan. First thing, you wanna grab a small brush. I use silicone brush. You can use any brush you like. And just make sure you put the oil on the bottom of the pan. You coat it completely, because when you bake it, you don't want it to get stuck to the pan. Okay, so it's going nice. Make sure you coat the sides too with the oil. Like I said, you don't want it to get stuck and burn. So we're gonna leave this on the side. Now we're gonna mix sugar and walnuts. The reason I put only a little bit of sugar, because we already have that syrup that's sugar and water. If you do too much sugar in the filling, then the baklava is gonna get sticky and heavy, and we don't want that. My baklava is juicy, it's delicious, and it's not too sweet. We put that lemon, sorry for the noise. We put the lemon in, that takes that sweetness out. This is yummy. Okay, so now we mixed everything good. I'm just gonna set this to the side. Like I said, sorry for the noise. So how some people like to do it, grab a spoon and put the walnuts. I like to use my hands. That's me. So, like I said, the phyllo has to be moist so it can't be dry. So you have to work fast. If you are not that kind of person that kind of works fast, just keep one side of the paper towel and make sure that it's covered, and that way it doesn't get dry. Okay, see how nice this is? Oh my God, it's so nice and thin. It's almost see-through. So first, you have to size it to your pan. What I usually do, I fold it like this, almost like at the half, and put it on the bottom. So now you have kind of a little thicker part here and thinner here. I do another phyllo again, not all the way. Now the thicker part goes on this side and thinner on this. So the reason you're putting 2 phyllos on the bottom is that way you have the base for it, and that way nothing is gonna get through on the pan. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sprinkle the oil in between every layer of phyllo. Just like this a little bit with your brush. And like I said, I like to use my fingers. So just put nice coat of walnuts. Make sure that every part is covered equally. Okay. Oh my God, I can't wait for this. Like I said, baklava is one of my favorite desserts, so yeah, I love it. Okay. So now, a little bit more oil, just a couple drips. Now we're gonna fold again our phyllo, like I said, almost to the half. It looks like this. And just start layering one by one. So you just put one layer now, press it down a little bit, make sure the sides are in, like this. Again, oil, drip it with your oil, like this. Drip it with your brush. Again, walnuts, like I said, be generous. That's why we have all these walnuts, and that's why this baklava is so different and so unique and delicious. The reason I'm folding this phyllo is because the size of the phyllo doesn't fit my pan. This is one of my favorite pans. So if you have a little bit bigger pan, you don't have to fold the phyllo, just layer one phyllo at a time. We have two phyllos left. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing, fold it and put both of them on the top with no filling in between. So like we did in the beginning, we got two on the bottom, so it doesn't come out on the bottom. The same thing you wanna do for the top. Okay, so it's all nice and done. Before we put it in to bake, we're gonna cut it. So the reason you're doing that, once it's baked, you pour the syrup over. All the syrup is going to go in between and everything is going to be soaked with it. It's going to be delicious. So you can cut it square, you can cut it diamond, however you like it. I cut it square. And like I said, depends how big pieces you cut. That's up to your preference. Make sure you go all the way to the bottom. And hold it, because if you don't hold it, the phyllo is going to come off. So perfect. Okay. Once it's all cut, I'm gonna drizzle a little bit more oil on the top and I'm gonna put it in the oven to bake. I bake it on a 400 degrees. I really don't have set times, depends on the oven. Usually takes about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depends on the oven. But as soon as you see that it's nice and golden brown, take it out. Hopefully by then your syrup is gonna be completely cooled off and you're just gonna pour it over. I'm gonna show you that later. As you can see, baklava is out of the oven. It's perfectly golden brown. And remember when I told you, cut it before you put it in the oven? This is why. Because now when it's cut, the way it bakes, it makes a little space in between. Once we pour the syrup over, it's gonna soak all that goodness. So it's on the table. We're gonna go grab our syrup and pour it over. All right, our syrup is cooled off. Like I said before, make sure it's completely cooled off. You can even put it in a fridge so it can be cold before you put it on the baklava, because if you put hot syrup on the hot baklava, it's gonna get gooey. Not good. So the way I do it, it's kind of heavy, so just grab it with your spoon and you just start pouring little by little. Oh my God, this phyllo is so nice. It's perfect. Okay, so as you can see, as I grab the syrup, I grab pieces of lemon with it. You want to leave the lemon on the baklava maybe for hour or so, just so that tardiness of the lemon can go in, and you can take it off after that. You don't serve it with your lemon, you just serve the piece of baklava. But just gonna spread it out like this. And right now, as you can see, it looks like it's swimming in the syrup. Yummy. But in probably 3 to 4 hours, all this is gonna get completely soaked in this delicious syrup. So at this point, you want to leave baklava on the room temperature so it can soak all the syrup. You don't want to put it in a fridge right away. Once it's soaked completely and it's nice and juicy, you can just put it in a fridge. It doesn't have to be refrigerated, but some people like it cold, some not, so it's however you like it. Like I said, leave it 3 to 4 hours out, and then after that, if you want to put it in a fridge or leave it out, and enjoy. We're ready to try it. Our delicious, super juicy baklava. Oh my God, it's melting in your mouth. It's so good. Lemon flavor. Oh, wow. I'm telling you, you are gonna love this.